Emily, I want to talk to you today. I've noticed a shift, Something feels a little off.
Okay, Sam, I'm listening. What do you mean?
You look sad these days. It's not your usual spark, and I've been wondering if everything's all right.
Yes, I feel sad, honestly. It's been bothering me a lot lately, more than I probably let on.
Oh, Emily, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can you tell me why? What's going on?
It's about speaking English. My friends laugh at me when I speak English. It makes me feel so small, so exposed.
They laugh at you? Your friends? That's really tough, Emily. What do they laugh at?
Yes, they laugh because I make mistakes. You know, when I mix up words, or my pronunciation isn't perfect, or I just can't find the right phrase. It feels like they're waiting for me to slip up.
Emily, please listen carefully to me. Making mistakes is not just normal, it's absolutely essential for learning any language, especially English. Everyone, and I mean everyone, makes mistakes when they're learning something new. It's part of the process, a sign that you're actually trying and pushing yourself.
I know you say that, and rationally I understand. But I feel so embarrassed. The heat rushes to my face, and I just want to disappear. It's a horrible feeling, like I'm failing every time I open my mouth.
Don't feel embarrassed, Emily. Honestly, you are learning, and that's something to be incredibly proud of. Think about how far you've come already. You're putting yourself out there, trying to communicate in a language that isn't your first. That takes immense courage, not embarrassment.
But it just makes me afraid to speak in front of people. I clam up, I start rehearsing sentences in my head, getting tangled, and then I just decide it's safer to say nothing at all. Or I'll try to shorten what I want to say, even if it means not expressing myself fully.
Fear is normal, absolutely. That feeling of wanting to retreat? Totally understandable given what you've experienced. But remember, Emily, practice makes you stronger. It's the only way to get past that initial discomfort. Every time you speak, even if it's just a little bit, you're building those neural pathways, you're gaining confidence.
I just wish I didn't care what they thought. Why does it sting so much?
Because you're human and you value connection and acceptance, especially from your friends. But here's a crucial question, Emily. Are these people truly your friends if they're laughing at your efforts to learn and grow? True friends would encourage you, support you, maybe even gently correct you if you ask, but never laugh at you.
That's a hard thought. I never really looked at it that way. I just assumed it was my fault, that I was being too sensitive, or that I just wasn't good enough.
It's absolutely not your fault. It's a reflection on their empathy, or lack thereof. Someone who truly cares about you would lift you up, not bring you down when you're trying to improve yourself. Learning a language is one of the most incredible things you can do, and it opens up so many doors. To mock someone for that, it's just not okay.
So what do I do? How do I get past this feeling? Because it's paralyzing.
First, we reframe mistakes. Instead of seeing them as failures, see them as guideposts. Every mistake you make tells you exactly what you need to work on next. It's not a sign of incompetence, it's just feedback. It's like a little red flag saying, "Hey, look at this word again."
That's a different way to think about it. I usually just replay the mistake over and over in my head, cringing.
Exactly. But what if instead you just noted it? Okay, I messed up the past tense there. Next time I'll try to remember the it ending. Or, my it sound was a bit off, I need to focus on tongue placement. It takes the emotional charge out of it and turns it into a practical learning point.
I suppose that makes sense. It sounds less catastrophic.
It absolutely is. Second, let's talk about your environment. If these friends are truly making you feel bad, you need to either have a frank conversation with them about how their comments affect you, or you need to find more supportive people to practice with. Are there any language exchange groups, or even just one trusted person you can talk to?
I haven't really looked. I've just been avoiding speaking altogether outside of what's absolutely necessary. The thought of joining a group where I might make more mistakes just felt like signing up for more embarrassment.
I get that, but imagine a group where everyone is in the same boat as you, or where people are actively trying to help each other. The focus shifts from perfection to progress, and that's a game changer. Maybe an online community even? Something low pressure to start.
That sounds less intimidating. Online, I could maybe hide a little more if I got really stuck, Just until I build up some courage.
Exactly. And third, Emily, let's focus on communication over grammar. The goal of language is to communicate. Are you getting your message across? Even if it's imperfect, if people understand you, you've succeeded. The fluency and accuracy will come with time and practice. Don't let the pursuit of perfection stop you from speaking at all.
That's a good point. Sometimes I get so hung up on forming the perfect sentence that I miss the entire conversation, or just give up. It's like I'm translating word for word in my head, instead of just talking.
That's a common hurdle. Try to focus on the overall message. Use simpler sentences if you need to. Use gestures. Use filler words like or like. Native speakers do it all the time. The important thing is to keep the conversation flowing. The more you just try to communicate, the more natural it will become.
So, just dive in, even if it's messy?
Exactly. Think of a child learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they bump their head. Do their parents laugh at them and tell them to stop trying? No. They encourage them, they cheer them on, because they know falling is part of learning to walk. Learning a language is no different. You're building a new skill, and it takes time and many falls.
That's a really helpful analogy. I never thought of it like that, as a natural developmental process, rather than a test I'm failing.
And it's crucial to celebrate your small victories. Did you hold a short conversation today? Did you understand a sentence you couldn't yesterday? Did you pronounce a tricky word correctly? Acknowledge that progress, no matter how tiny it seems. It builds momentum and reinforces that you are improving.
I tend to only focus on the mistakes. If I made one mistake in a whole conversation, that's all I'd remember.
That's a habit we need to break. Start actively looking for the things you did well. Keep a little mental scorecard, and make sure the wins column is always overflowing.
And what about listening? Are you immersing yourself in English outside of conversations?
A little. I watch some shows with subtitles, but mostly I just practice what I think I need to say for work or specific situations.
Try to make it fun too.
Listen to English podcasts, maybe even this one. Listen to music. Watch movies without subtitles if you can manage most of it, or with English subtitles. The more you hear natural speech, the more those patterns will seep into your brain, and the easier it will be to produce them.
I guess that could help with sounding more natural, less like I'm translating word for word. I really want to sound more natural.
It absolutely will. And consider finding a language partner, if not a group. Someone who's also learning, or someone who's a native speaker and is genuinely patient and supportive. You can often find these through apps or online communities.
That's a good idea. Someone who understands the struggle, or someone who just won't judge. That's what I need.
Exactly. And perhaps even consider professional help, like a tutor. Sometimes having a dedicated space where you can make mistakes freely, knowing it's a learning environment, can be incredibly liberating. They can provide targeted feedback and boost your confidence systematically.
I hadn't thought about a tutor. It sounds like a big step, but it might be what I need to break through this wall.
It could be a fantastic investment in yourself. Remember, Emily, every single person who speaks English fluently, whether it's their first language or their fifth, started where you are. They made mistakes. They probably felt embarrassed sometimes, but they kept going.
It's just hard when it feels like everyone around you is effortlessly fluent, and I'm stumbling over every other word.
That's the illusion, isn't it? We only see the polished surface. We don't see the hours of practice, the awkward conversations, the corrections, the sheer determination. But it's all part of the journey, and your journey is valid and important.
I really appreciate you saying all this, Sam. It's like a weight is lifting, just hearing someone understand and give me practical steps, instead of just telling me to be confident.
You don't need to be confident right away. You need to build confidence, brick by brick. And it starts by recognizing your courage for even trying, and then by taking those small, consistent steps. Remember, your voice, your thoughts, and your ability to express them are invaluable, regardless of the language or the occasional stumble.
I feel a little bit more hopeful now, honestly. I'm going to try to reframe those mistakes, and I'm definitely going to look into finding a more supportive environment, maybe even a tutor. Thank you, Sam, really. You've given me a lot to think about.
That's all I could ask for, Emily. Just take one small step at a time. And remember, I'm always here to listen and encourage you without judgment. Your journey is inspiring, and I know you're going to rock this. You already are.